Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. Well, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it tomorrow? Is he going to declare a national emergency and have the army build himself a wall? Is that what this is all about? Well, we have to wait until 9 o'clock tomorrow on Tuesday to find out exactly. The thing that it shouldn't have surprised me, but it kind of did, was at first they were even saying that they weren't sure the networks were going to carry the speech. I had never seen that before with any president ever. Of course, these are just different times. So anyway, it's going to be a major television event for sure, and everybody is going to carry it live as well. And it's interesting. It is interesting to watch everything going on. And gosh, which way do we want to go first with this? There's so many different things going on right now. It's really pretty wild. And, it feels like we're in this cart that is going up the hill. Just, like think roller coaster. And we're in the old-fashioned wooden ones. And you could hear that click, clank, click, clank, click, clank as it's going up the hill. And it feels like once we get to the top of the hill, which might come tomorrow after the 9 o'clock speech, hold on. Hold on tight, because it's going to be on. It just has that feel. So many of you guys are reaching out to me and saying, am I the only one that feels tense and irritable? And no, you're not. A lot of people are feeling very tense and irritable. And it probably has a lot to do with a lot of different things going on right now. Part of it is definitely all this tension that we're always seeing in the news and all the drama. Part of it, it might be in the air we're breathing right now with all the chemtrails, which are at, record levels. And it's incredible. I constantly get people just texting me and sending me messages or calling or what have you, and just saying, give me little blurbs of things that are going on. And I know it was in California where it was measured just incredible amounts of aluminum, up just on the soil, on the ground, on pine cones, incredible levels of aluminum. And we've talked about this. Aluminum and barium, they interfere with the brain's ability to function. And then we add the 5G in to the effect. They are really, well, there's a lot of things going on that are definitely having an effect on our consciousness. Let's just say at that, at our emotional state. And as we've addressed before so many times, the need is more than ever to basically take time for yourself, detach yourself from this chaos that we find ourselves in as much as possible, and just do things that make you feel good. Whatever that is, okay, no illegal drugs, guys, no illegal drugs, no opioids or anything like that. Well, sometimes those are illegal, but yes, other things, unless you're in the state that condones it. Anyway, I was thinking more along the lines of things like, working out, yoga, getting out in nature, Tai Chi, Qigong, meditation, prayer even, and just being with family and stuff, and friends, having a good time, because we need it and we deserve it for everything that's going on right now. So when we look at other things going on, and this is out of Russia today, again commenting on national emergency coming, Trump announces border trip amid the talk of using authority to build a wall, and the way he said this too, I am pleased to inform you that I will address the nation on humanitarian and national security crisis on our southern border Tuesday night at 9 p.m. I feel like I think he's got it as a go. I think he's going to do it. That's my guess. It feels that way. What do you guys think? There's all sorts of rumors going on about Ginsburg. She misses the Supreme Court arguments for the first time, and there's rumors even going around that she's not even with us anymore. Some people are saying that. I don't know. There's nothing that has been officially said yet, but of course those on the right are looking forward to the chance at putting another judge on the Supreme Court that will be more sympathetic to their cause. And of course, those on the left are very, very anxious about this. And speaking about right and left, we have a far-right German politician, Frank Magnitz, severely injured in an assassination attempt. And so he was badly beaten by 3 alleged assailants on Monday. He is believed to have been jumped after leaving a New Year's reception in Frankfurt's Goethe Square. And it feels like the fuse has been lit in so many different areas right now, and there's so much tension building. Again, it goes back, and it reminds me of reading my history in the 1930s, leading up, right before World War II. Turkey's fighting not against the Kurds, but against terrorists, the minister says. And this is a country and a person to watch closely. Turkey and Erdogan. Turkey's fight in the region is not against Kurds, but against terror organizations. National Defense Minister Hulusi Akar said on January 7th while responding to U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton's remarks on Syria. Bolton said on January 6th the U.S. will not withdraw troops from northeastern Syria until Turkish government guarantees fight against ISIL and that it won't attack Kurdish fighters. Turkey considers the YPG as the Syrian offshoot of the PKK, which is listed as a terrorist organization by both Ankara and Washington. The fight of the Turkish armed forces is not against our Kurdish brothers, with whom we have shared the same geography and the same bread for centuries. Our struggle in the region is against the PKK, YPG, and the Daesh terrorists that threaten all ethnic and religious groups, particularly our Kurdish, Arab, and Turkmen brothers. So you have this going on. We have Turkey ordering the arrest of 100 soldiers over suspected Gulen links. More than 77,000 people have been jailed, pending trial, while 150,000 civil servants, military personnel, and others have been sacked or suspended from their jobs as part of the post-coup purges that are still going on by the president. Oh boy, how many people are just going missing, never to be heard from again, as he just keeps consolidating power. This is somebody to really, really watch. As we have said before, Turkey, part of NATO, but obviously allies of Russia and Iran and China. And we're going to keep our eye on him. Zero Hedge. 2019 will be the year of more state control. Well, that's just what we need, but it's also what we know is coming, even though we can't stop it, or at least it doesn't seem like there's any chance of stopping it. And so, the greatly enhanced capacity for electronic surveillance and the weakening of democratic control is going on. And it's not just even in this country, it's around the world. And the antidote to that risk is the democratic spirit and civil freedoms, both of which are suffering worldwide. They're not dead, but they're unwell. Yeah, they're pretty sick right now. And we could see the trend. The world's 2 most populous states, China and India together, around 37% of the global population, have rolled out national digital systems of monitoring and classification. These combine the collection of personal information needed for fuller citizenship with the capacity for fuller surveillance and intervention by the state. China's system overtly seeks to monitor the behavior of its 1.4 billion people and to reward those actions as the state the Communist Party defines as good, or punish those as it defines as bad, through a social credit system, and you're going to be watching your credit score, and you're going to basically be watching your social credit score. And, what happens to those people that have a social credit rating of F or D? Do they just disappear? Are they going to be sent to the camps for reconditioning? I'm not even really saying that in jest. It is probably what's going to happen. It's extremely sad, extremely scary. So what's going on with this world? boy, do we need change. Boy, do we need change. But where do you go for change? It's an uphill climb, but we have to start local. You got to start somewhere, right? This slide is just so obvious, and it really is global. There's very few countries in the world right now that aren't feeling this. And those that aren't feeling it so much, it's just a matter of time. And what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it, guys? Netanyahu, the U.S. will run economic war against Iran, leading the military drive to Israel. This is out of Debka. And so that's at least what Netanyahu is saying, although I don't know. There's a lot of mixed signals going out. There's a real lot of mixed signals going out. And it kind of hit me. I wonder if the U.S. is taking a page out of The Art of War. And, we'll get into that as we're going to look a little further down. China faces unstoppable population decline. India may already be the world's most populous country. So that one child per couple has had a big, big effect. And China's population is set to peak at 1.44 billion in 2029 before beginning an unstoppable decline in 2030, according to shocking new data. And data already indicates that India probably is the most populous country in the world. And there is some conflicting data there, but it's definitely the case that China's population is in decline. And as we were talked about before, India's influence is just going to keep growing as well. So, 2050, this could be a very, very different world, very different. As so many of the Western countries, have very low fertility rates and are, seeing population declines. And many of them that haven't seen a decline, it's simply because of migration. And if there wasn't a migration, there would be a great decline. So it's pretty interesting to see the changes that were going on. And this guy that looks just so pleasant, doesn't he? Doesn't he kind of look like he's going to just yell at you and say, "What do you want? Get away from me." So this is Chicago Alderman Ed Burke. And he was very, very aggressive at pursuing, doing away with the Second Amendment as much as he can. The anti-Second Amendment, for sure. And from outlawing cell phone cases shaped like guns to bans on concealed weapons in places that serve alcohol and broadening the gun offender registry in Chicago, Alderman Ed Burke's record has defined him as an aggressive pusher of gun control. But guess what? In a 37-page criminal complaint charging Burke with extortion, it has exposed him to be yet another phony, another hypocrite, and, he's an anti-Second Amendment legislator. Federal prosecutors now report that nearly 24 firearms were discovered in his offices during their raids in November. What a surprise. This longtime gun control opponent was armed to the teeth while denying the suffering and helpless residents of Chicago, with the highest murder rate anywhere north of hell, denying them a chance to defend their family and property. Some background from the Sun-Times. So it goes into some actual stories about him and what he's done. The thing is, hypocrites, politicians can be so hypocritical. And we know that. Either that, or simply that feeling that they are above the law, which is a very dangerous feeling. But that is the feeling for so many of them. So why Venezuela is chasing or clashing with its old foe again, Exxon. And I was just listening to Florida Marquis, and many people have been telling me, you got to check out his last one, so I did. And he believes that basically invasion into Venezuela is imminent. He thinks it's imminent, and he's thinking, he was thinking the 11th. And really it is all about resources. It really is. Exxon is huge. Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro has vowed to block Exxon Motor Oil from exploring for oil in contested waters off of Guyana. The dispute threatens the development of the world's biggest new deepwater oil play. And it has echoes in the past. In 2007, Venezuela's then President Hugo Chavez nationalized Exxon's assets in the country. Exxon moved 2 vessels away from the disputed region after Venezuela's Navy confronted them last month. And so, if you listen to Florida Marquis, he thinks it's imminent. He thinks it's coming. And of course, we know that the Russians are, well underway with building bases there. Yet what he is talking about would be basically an invasion that would include Brazil, Peru, and some other nations as well as the U.S. And actually there was, and he was showing footage of some TV news showing basically fleets heading Venezuela's way and just, talking about the United States is coming. So I wanted to check over here then, the USNI News Fleet and Marine Tracker, and this is the most recent one. And this is not what I usually see. It's interesting because most often you'll see them on the Western Hemisphere. Right now they're not showing anything in the Western Hemisphere, which is curious. It is curious. And actually there's a lot centered right around the Middle East. Centered within striking distance right now of Syria or Iran or Turkey. So it's interesting because there's a lot of power projected right here, right in the middle. And there's nothing showing over here. And as I said, it's not typical. I went back through a few different weeks. Now this is more of what you would usually see, more of a spread out in different areas. And this is December 10th. December 3rd, November 26th. So, yeah, this is curious. I don't know exactly what it means, but it's curious. And there's a lot of curious things going on right now. So, are they hiding, information on some other movement of some other fleets going on? Very well could be. Maybe they don't want us to know. Or maybe, the rumors about Venezuela are just that and rumors. Maybe there's something else happening over in Syria or Iran. Who knows? But we probably will find out relatively soon. And millions, this is something that maybe some people are forgetting about, but not those that it affects. Millions could face severe cuts to food stamps due to the government shutdown, which is still ongoing. And so the partial government shutdown goes into its 3rd week, and no end in sight, and it really is starting to affect people in certain areas. It definitely is scary for those people that are relying on food stamps and the programs. And there's really no end in sight. For the first 5 months of 2018, about 7 million Americans received WIC benefits each month. And WIC is provided for pregnant, postpartum, and breastfeeding women, infants, and children up to age 5 who fall within the poverty index and are at nutritional risk. The WIC program granted nearly $5 billion to every U.S. state and territory in 2018 as of September. And so, Americans who benefit from both SNAP, which is another program, and that's used on Indian reservations. It's a special supplemental nutrition program for women, infants, and children that are not receiving the federal funds that shut down. So, just think about all these people that are affected by this. It's, a sad point, but, the thing is we can't count on the government. And it's one of those things that I think it's one of those slow trickle water torture things that we've just over time gotten used to. The whole concept of big government and counting on Big Brother. And then, the slow erosion of all of our rights and, the complete erosion of any privacy that exists at all in this world. And so really we need to work together to pick each other up wherever we can. And there are so many people that are out there doing that. I know so many people that do such beautiful charitable work on a daily basis through all kinds of different organizations and just out there one-on-one. as I've shared with you, I mean, I know I have quite a few friends and family members that just get out there on a regular basis, one-to-one with people that are on the streets, and impoverished, and do what they can. I used to go to a regular group every Friday night that basically just got together, just kind of a bunch of hippie-ish people singing songs and just gathering money up for food banks. And, it was a beautiful thing. And then doing charitable work like that. And that's what we need to do, is we need to take care of each other without relying on Big Brother. Because, the more you give Big Brother, the more he's going to take. And that includes our freedoms, our liberty, our privacy, all of it. So my friends, as always, please do thumbs up, support the channel. Please do subscribe, join the family, click the bell, get all notifications, and share with as many as possible. God bless, my friends. Stay safe. Namaste.